From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a PrimeWave Media production, the NFL Bet Exchange, hosted by my man, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson.
Welcome to the final episode of the 2020 season of the NFL Bet Exchange with your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And I'm all by myself today. My partner, Jeff Dawson, is actually under the weather, kind of sick and everything today. So pretty much I'm going to go ahead and take the reins and everything all by myself. As you guys usually know, you guys watch my show on a daily basis, the Primetime Angles, and you guys also watch my other shows as well too that are on the PrimeWave network. So you guys are already aware that I know how to run the show on my own. So pretty much we did have ourselves a great good little week last week. We were able to go 8-8 last week. This was a very good week for us. All in all, we kind of things kind of fell apart at the end there. Didn't have a great Monday Night Football, didn't have a great Sunday Night Football, but it's all good. Let me go ahead and get our numbers, and the numbers that I do have here. Looks like that we did go ahead and win out 8-8 this week. So I'm counting them now for us. 1, 2, 3, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4. 8-5, 8-6, 8-7, and 8-8. So there goes the number. So there it is. That's exactly what we had. Jeff went ahead and finished up 7-9 this week, but we'll have the correct number for him as well too once we get there. So pretty much we did have ourselves a really fun week and everything like that. A lot of good bets hit, and no, we couldn't continue our streak in the dog bet of the week, but it's fine. It is fine. So here we are. Let's go ahead and jump into our first game, which is going to be the game that's going to be between the Dolphins and the Bills. So the Dolphins and the Bills, this is going to be a good one right here. And we have ourselves a Dolphins team coming in here 10-5. Bills are 11-3. It is a 2.5 spread at the moment, and it's over under 44.5. The notes that I have on the Dolphins this week is the Dolphins are 3-2 in the division, 4-1 against the spread, 1-1 on the road against the spread and straight up. You have to understand the Dolphins are 11-4 when it comes to games against the spread. So they are one of the better teams in the NFL when it comes to covering. Actually, the best team in the NFL when it comes to covering games. And then also you have the over/under being 6-9. So pretty much they went over in 6 out of their 15 games this season. So in 9 games have went under. So pretty much that's what we have for that number right there. And then 6-1 against the spread, 4-3 straight up as an underdog, and 0-2 in the division, 1-1 against the spread as in the same spot. 3-1 on the road this year as an underdog as well. And then 5-2 straight up on the road, and 4-3 against the spread on the road. Number one in points against, only giving up 16 points per game at this moment. The Bills coming into this game feeling good, feeling great. They're coming into this bad boy 12-3 right now. I said 11-3, but you guys got to understand, I had to switch it around because it was a Monday Night Football game. So we did have the 12-3 also. So pretty much they are 12-3, 9-6 against the spread this year, and they're 11-4 when it comes to overs and unders as well too. Because actually it's a 10-4-1 because what happened was is that they did get the push or whatever was going on with that one. But yeah, I have them here at 11-4, and pretty much they are 4-1 in division play. Their only loss in the division. They're actually 5-0 in division play. Let me take that back. They haven't lost to anybody in the division this year. And then they're also, but the one bad part about them is that they're 2-3 against the spread this year. But that's fine because they're 2-0 straight up in this spot at home, and 1-1 against the spread in this spot as well too. They're 9-1 straight up and 5-5 against the spread as a favorite this year. 6-0 straight up at home as the fave, 5-1 against the spread. So they have things working in their favor here as well too as a favorite. And then 6-1 straight up at home this season, 5-2 against the spread. So you got this Bills team. They're looking good, and I think the Bills are going to be the one that actually comes up pretty big in this game, and they're going to wind up winning this game, in my opinion. I'm taking the Bills money line minus 135. I know the Dolphins are in a must-win situation, but the Bills look like they are going to be the 2 seed here, and they want to be the 2 seed because the thing is, they get to keep playing home playoff games until they get to the championship game, if that occurs for them. So they would love to be in the friendly confines of Buffalo here for the first few weeks of the playoffs, and that would probably be something that works out very well for this team as well too. So we move on to the next AFC East matchup, and it's going to be between the Jets and the Pats. The Jets coming in here 2-13, while the Pats are 6-9. It's a 3.5 point spread going to the Pats, over under 43 today as well too. And then the last meeting that these teams had, week 9, the Pats won a thriller 30-27, and also the last 10 games between these teams, the Pats are actually 9-1, and they have actually won the last 9 in a row. And just a really quick reference, the Bills have won the last 4 in a row in the Dolphins series as well too, and they're 6-4 in their last 10 meetings as well too. All right, so we move. So let's go ahead and get back to the subject at hand. And we got the Jets, who are 6-9 against the spread, over and under 6-9 as well too. This team has won 2 in a row after a 0-13 start. 0-5 in the division, but 2-3 against the spread. 0-2 on the road as against the spread and straight up. And also, they're 1-6 on the road, but 3-4 against the spread. 4-2 against the spread since the bye week, which was week 10, but they're 2-4 straight up, but much better than they were to start the season off. And then you have the Pats, who are 6-9 against the spread, and then 4-10 when it comes to over, and 4-11, 5-10 when it comes to overs and unders. So pretty much there it is with that. And here we are, 4-6. Bye week is since their bye week, and after a 2-2 start to the bye as well too. So pretty much 4-6 since the week 6 point, and now they are 1-2 versus teams under 500 at home as well too. And they're 2-3 in the division this year, straight up and against the spread. And then they're only averaging 6 points per game in their last 3 after a 45-0 win over the Chargers. So when I look at this one, I tell myself this one is really hard to choose. But I think what happens here is that we pretty much get another Jets pull up, and they actually have themselves another great game. I think the Pats have pretty much thrown it in for the rest of the season, but I don't see them getting swept out by their NFC East compadres to finish the season up. I just think that they win a very close game. So I'm going to take the Jets with the plus 3.5. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, we got the Ravens at the Bengals. Ravens coming into this game 10-5, while the Bengals coming here 4-10-1. The last meeting this team had was week 5, and the Ravens won the game 27-3. The Ravens lead the series right now 6-4 in the last 10 games, including the last 4 in a row. The Ravens, number 1 rushing team in the league, averaging 177.8 yards per game, 4-0 since dropping 4 out of 5 as well too, and they're 4-0 against the spread. 5-4 since the bye week, and they're 6-3 against the spread. 5-2 on the road, 4-3 against the spread. 1-1 straight up in the division. 2-0 against the spread when it comes to road games in the division, and they're 3-2 straight up in the division, and 4-1 against the spread. So this team is looking pretty good when it comes to division play, and this is a must-win situation for them. But you know, the Bengals want to play the spoiler. Nobody want to take this team seriously, but they made all of us pretty much eat our words a few weeks back with that big upset over the Steelers. This team's coming in here with one of the best records as well too against the spread. They're 9-5-1 on the season, and they're also 8-7 when it comes to overs and unders. They're 1-4 in the division, but 3-2 against the spread. They're 1-1 at home and 2-0 against the spread in this spot as well too, at home in the division. They're 8-5-1 as a underdog against the spread, 5-1 at home as the underdog as well too. 2-1, 2-0 since their 5-game losing streak after the bye week of week 9. So they've done very well after dropping all those games in a row. And I think the Bengals actually have one more in them, and this team gets 10 wins against the spread this year. That's going to be pretty remarkable when you have a team that has over 10 losses. Go ahead and cover that many games. So that's pretty good. I'm going to have to take them one more time. Plus 12.5 on the Bengals. Let's see how it shakes out. And then here we go. This is going to be the biggest matchup, in my opinion, in the AFC this weekend, because the ramifications that are to it and the pride that is put into this game and into this rivalry as well, too. And the fan base, it's just they've been longing for this moment, and nothing else but the Steelers, 12-3, going at the Browns, who are 10-5. So pretty much we're looking at this situation. You got a Browns team that's coming off a very bad loss against the Jets, but it's okay. They still had time to get it all back this week. And it's even better to win this thing at home as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. But when I look at the line, you got the Steelers winners of the last meeting, 38-7, but Ben Roethlisberger will not be starting in this game. He started in that game, but he won't be starting in this one. The Steelers actually have owned the Browns pretty much the last 10 years. They are 8-1-1. The Steelers have won 2 in a row and 8 out of their last 10 as well, too. You have to understand, a year or so ago, they got a tie. Then everybody remembers they got the big victory on Thursday night, which was ruined by the situation between Myles Garrett and the backup quarterback for the Steelers, who's going to be actually starting at quarterback this week as well, too, Mason Rudolph. So here we are, Steelers 9-6 against the spread, 7-8 when it comes to over and unders this year as well, too. And then they're 1-3 after 11-0 start. So they've struggled here in the last few weeks of the season. They're 4-1 in the division, 3-2 against the spread, but they've already secured the AFC North title. 5-2 straight up, 4-3 against the spread on the road. 1-1 straight up against the spread in the division as well, too. And then they're 5-1 versus teams over 500 and 4-2 against the spread. You got the Browns coming in here against the spread. They're 6-9 over under. They're just like the Steelers, 7-8. They're 2-3 in division play, and they're 0-5 against the spread in division play. They're 1-1 straight up, 0-2 against the spread at home in division play. 5-2 straight up, 3-4 against the spread at home this year. So they've actually had a great home season, but they haven't been able to cover as much as you would want them to at home. Then they've lost their last 2 out of 3 games after a 4-game winning streak, and they're 2-3 straight up and against the spread versus teams over 500 as well, too. So the Browns look like the team that this looks like another moment where the Browns should flop and not win the game, blase. But you know what? When they go ahead and say Big Ben's not starting this week, they already have playoffs on their mind. And I think that they've almost pretty much handed this game to the Browns. But I know that they're going to have guys show up and want to play and want to make the Browns a victim here. So if you're a Browns fan, Browns backer, you know that we're walking kind of on some very shaky ground right now. But I think the way that this team lost last week, I think this is going to motivate them to blow out the Steelers come Sunday. So we'll see how it shakes out. And with that, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and this is the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Austin here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal and join our team? We're offering 2 great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $29.99 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. And that's a savings of $30 and 1 free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there, or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the winner's circle.
All right, we are back with the NFL Bet Exchange, and let's go ahead and jump into these AFC South matchups. The AFC South has not been settled yet, but Tennessee's in the driver's seat to go ahead and win the division right now, but there could be a catastrophic situation that winds up in the hands of the Colts. The Colts do need to win, though, first and foremost, because right now they actually have been knocked out into the hunt of the playoffs instead of being actually in the playoffs. So we're going to start off with this Titans at Texans game. You got the Titans coming in here 10-5. You got the Texans 4-11. You got a spread of plus 7.5 going to the Texans. And then you also have an over-under of 56.5 into this game as well, too. The last meeting these two teams had was week 6, and it was a 42-36 Titans win as well, too. Very good game. Very, very good game. And in the last 10 between these teams actually split right down the middle. The Titans actually have won the last 2 matchups, but they're 5-5 in their last 10. So this is not a walk in the park for the Titans, even though it might not be a team in the Texans that care much. I don't think Deshaun Watson, if he's going to play, is going to lay down and just, go through 4 quarters of a game. So if, they want to sit up there and lose, I would probably say don't play Deshaun. But if you want to sit up there and compete, then I would say give them the call. So pretty much we got the Titans against the spread 7-8. They're 11-3-1 when it comes to over and unders. They're 5-5 since starting the season, 5-0, and they're also 5-5 against the spread in that stretch. They're 5-2 straight up, 3-4 against the spread on the road, 6-1 versus teams under 500, 3-4 against the spread in that same scenario. 4-1 in the division, 3-2 against the spread in the division. 2-0 on the road in the division as well, and they dominated both of their games by double digits in the on the road as well, too. Dominant performance over Jacksonville, dominant performance over Indianapolis as well. Then you got the Texans coming in here 4-10-1 against the spread, 6-9 over and under. They're 3-5 since their bye week, which was week 8, after a 1-6 start. And then they're also 2-5 against the spread at home and straight up. They're 2-3. 1-3-1 against the spread in the division, and they're 1-1 straight up, 1-0-1 against the spread at home. And then you have this team is just absolutely terrible against teams over 500. They're 0-9 versus teams over 500, 1-7-1 against the spread this year in that spot, and 0-4 at home straight up and against the spread. Man, everything, the writing is on the wall. And I think the Titans are going to go ahead and make this a very formful game. And when I say formful, that means that it's going to go according to plan, according to the paper. They should beat the Texans by double digits. And let's see how it shakes out, and we move forward from there. All right, so we have ourselves the Jags at the Colts, and this is going to be a fun one because the last time these two teams met up, Jacksonville got a huge upset to start the season off, 27-20. Jags wound up getting a monster victory that day. The last, and peep this is crazy. I had to look twice when I saw this. The Jaguars have actually won the last 7 out of 10 against the Colts as well too. So the Colts, they don't have an easy walk in the park, and that's why the opening day game wasn't as easy as it looked for the Colts as well too. But you know what? The Jaguars have secured the first pick in the draft as well this season, so I know that they're feeling really good about themselves with this 1-14 record, knowing that they're probably going to be able to get Trevor Lawrence or maybe Justin Fields. You know what I mean? You never know. We got to wait until we get to the actual camps and everything like that. They confirm exactly who they're going to be picking. They dropped 14 games in a row after winning the opener. That's the only other team to lose every single game right after winning the home opener from in my era, from what I remember, is going to be the Carolina Panthers when they had Chris Winkie, and Chris Winkie won the first game, and then they wound up losing 15 straight. And you know who the head coach of that team was? George Seifert, former 49er coach that took over for that took over for the legendary Bill Walsh and was able to defeat Denver in the championship game. So there goes some history for you guys right there for you right there. All right. And I think Seifert was the coach when they won the second championship as well, too, in 94, right before Mariucci got there. All right. So we got the Colts here. And the Colts against the spread are 8-6-1. And they are actually, and then, you know what? I'm jumping into the Colts first. So I'll just go ahead and I'll just talk about it. 9-6 over under, 3-2 division. They're also 2-2-1 in the division as well too, and they're 1-1 at home. 5-2 straight up, 3-3-1 against the spread at home this year as well. They're 5-0 as a favorite straight up, 3-1-1 against the spread at home. 7-1 straight up, 6-1-1 against the spread versus teams under 500. 4-0 straight up, and 3-1 against the spread at home. Okay, and this is a pretty underlying situation that it should be a blowout. Then we have ourselves the Jaguars, who are 1-4 in the division, 3-2 against the spread though. On 2 straight up, 1-1 on the road in this spot. On 7 straight up, 3-4 against the spread on the road. 1-8 straight up, 4-5 against teams over 500. 2-1 against the spread, on 3 on the road straight up. So there it is. Pretty much the writing's on the wall. The coach should win the game, but everything's telling me that they're not going to cover in this game. So I'm going to take the Jaguars with the plus 14 to take care of their business and to cover in this spot, because I would say that like this. Most likely, if they get a good lead, they'll probably go to Jacoby Brissett by the second half. But I think the Jaguars are going to challenge them and make them work in this game. They're going to figure out things. You got to understand, when you ain't got nothing to do and you ain't got nowhere to go, and you in the play, you trying to get teams trying to get in the playoffs, you want to be the spoiler. You want to be those guys. So let's move on and get into this AFC West. The AFC West has already been taken care of. Chiefs are the only team going to the playoffs right now, but we still got to review the division. We got the Chargers 6-9, they're trying to win their 4th game in a row, and then you got the Chiefs over here trying to win once again for the I would say for the 9th time this year. 10th time in a row, because they are absolutely killing it right now. They haven't lost a game since the Raiders. They're 14-1. So the Chargers 2-3 in the division straight up, 1-1 on the road as well. So they're straight up and against the spread on the divisional part. 3 wins in a row after going 2-5 since the bye week. Okay, so this team has been very good. The bye week was week 6. They had some struggles those 7 weeks, but they've won 3 in a row, looking to win 4 in a row. They're 2-5 on the road, straight up, 3-1 against the spread. They're 0-5 straight up, 2-3 against the spread versus teams over 500 this season as well too. They're 0-4 straight up, 2-2 against the spread on the road. All right, so the Chargers are about due, in my opinion, and the Chiefs are 6-8-1 when it comes to against the spread. And then they're also the over/under is 7-8 this year. So they're 4-1 straight up, 1-4 against the spread. And in division play, they're 1-1 and 0-2 against the spread. 0-6-1 against the spread since week 9, 7-0 straight up. Okay, so this is crazy. This team has not covered in weeks. They haven't covered in a while. So that's one thing you have to put into fruition with them. And they're already giving them a 3.5-point spread here. So they're really not that confident in the Chiefs this week to take care of their business the way that they should. They're 6-1 straight up, 3-4 against the spread at home, and they're 9-1 straight up, 4-6 against the spread versus teams under 500. And a lot of those teams under 500 have fell in the category of this whole not covering games for the last 7 games. So when it comes down to covering, the Chiefs are not your team right now, even though they are the best team in the league. And this is what usually happens when you're one of the more dominant teams in the league. You don't care about a spread. You know what I mean? So pretty much we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers with the points plus 3.5. Let's see how it shakes out. Now, let's go ahead and check this game out. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be the Raiders, who are 7-8, looking to finish the season with a 500 record, going against the Broncos, who are 5-10, trying to evaluate the quarterback position to see if they will be moving forward with Locke or not. So pretty much you got a plus 2.5 spread going to the Broncos, slight one, and then you have an over under of 51 as well too. The last time these teams met, it was week 10. The Raiders beat them 37-12. And also, the Raiders have won 6 out of the last 10 in the last 10 with these teams as well, too. So that is a great stat to see as well, too, that the Raiders have had their way with this team. The Raiders 8-7 against the spread, 12-3 over and under. So they have the most unders in the league this year. I mean, the most overs in the league this year. So the Raiders have been cash money in that department. Raiders 3-2 straight up, 4-1 against the spread in the division, 2-0 on road games in the division. Then you got 4-6 straight up since the bye week 6, 5-5 against the spread as well, 5-2 straight up, 4-3 on the road, and 4-3 straight up, 3-4 against teams under 500, 2-3 on the road in the spot though as well too. When it comes down to the it's been ugly for the Raiders this year. Kind of on the road, even though it looks good on the road, they've had their issues, they've had their struggles. All right, so pretty much there it is with the Raiders. With the Broncos, they're 4-7 since the bye, 6-5 though against the spread. They're 1-4 straight up, 3-2 against the spread in the division. At home, they're 1-1 in the division. All right, so they're 2-5 straight up, 3-4 against the spread at home, and then they're 4-3 straight up again and against the spread versus teams under 500. I still think the Raiders get the slight win here because the Raiders really beat up on the bad teams this season. I think that they'll be able to do it once again and get themselves a good victory here against a team that, you know, pretty much kind of got caught them slipping a few weeks back when they played them in Vegas. But, you know, the Denver will be ready for this game. It won't be as a big a blowout as it was last time, but I think that the Raiders have enough in the tank to go ahead and get a big win here. So there it is. And with that, we'll be right back. We got to take another commercial break. This is the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and we'll be right back at you.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
Austin here, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. Welcome you to the website. You're this close. Why not finish the deal and join our team? We're offering two great back to the basics and VIP packages for the rest of 2020. You can come on board to our very own app and bet work, we call it, for as low as 99 cents a day, $29.99 a month, or for the rest of 2020 for just $90. And that's a savings of $30 and one free month. Or join our VIP membership, which gets you direct emails and texts to your cell phone on a daily basis. Our breakdowns, our do's and don'ts, why we are releasing this game, and what to be expected for those games and the upcoming future. So come on board, click the link, or follow us at EC Sports Invest on the Twitter. We will follow you back and answer any questions there. Or also send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. Look forward to joining our team and seeing you soon at the Winner's Circle.
All right, we are back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And I'm flying the jet solo today, but all good. I want my boy Jeff Dawson to get much better, much more healthier for 2021 and everything like that. You know, whatever he's going through, it must be something that's really messing him up. He said he couldn't even talk. So pretty much, it's not Jeff will be back with us very soon on another show that I got called Hoops 101. So you guys be on the lookout for that one as well when we talk some college basketball and everything like that. So pretty much let's go ahead and jump into the NFC side of things. We got the Cowboys. OMG, the Cowboys. In the words of Slim Shady, will the real Cowboys stand up? And that's exactly what it seems like they've done, winning the last 3 games in a row as well too. And they've been extra dominant since they came out the bye. This team is actually the team that I envisioned all season to be in the NFC East. They're actually playing really good football here in the second half of the season. And I had the feeling that this was going to happen with the Cowboys as well too. The Cowboys coming into this game, 37-34 victory, week 5 against the Giants. They've dominated this series as well, too, in the last 10. They've won 7 out of the last 10 here against the Giants as well. And the Cowboys coming in here against the spread, 5-10, over and under 8-7. And you got to understand, at one point, this team was 0-9 against the spread. So they've came a long way, pretty much, when it comes to the spread. So pretty much they're like 5-1 right now when it comes to covering games. You got a 4-2 since the bye week, which was week 10. They started off the season 2-7, and as I stated before, they have 3 wins in a row, looking to get a 4th. They're 2-5 straight up and against the spread on the road. They're 2-3 straight up, 1-4 against the spread in the division, and they're 0-2 on the road in the division as well too. They're 5-3 straight up, 4-5 against the spread versus teams under 500. Now the Giants coming into this game, they are 5-10, but they're 8-7 against the spread. They're also going to be 3-11-1 against for over and unders. This team does not score a lot of points at all. They got a 3-game losing streak coming in here to this one after having a 4-game winning streak. And in this 3-game losing streak, they've only averaged 6.2 points per game. So that means that they're only getting 2 field goals a game. They're getting under a touchdown each game. Even though they're not giving up a lot of points, they're not scoring a lot of points either. They've been thoroughly dominated in pretty much every single match that they've had the last few weeks. And then you have a 4-3, 3-4 against the spread versus the teams under 500. Then they're 3-2 straight up and against the spread in the division, 2-0 in this spot as well, straight up, and 1-1 against the spread at home in this spot in the division. 2-5 straight up and against the spread at home. So there it is. The Giants coming in here really, really looking to try to get a good win here at the end of the season. But the Giants, to me, were never really a good home team this season. I just gave you guys the record right now. They were 2-5 at home. It was an absolute mess watching them at home, and they really needed to win those games that they had lined up at home as well too. They had back-to-back home games and did absolutely nothing with them. So pretty much, I think that the Cowboys are just like I said before. This is a bad claiming race at the racetrack. And what happens is you can't call out the winner until we get down to the final stretch. And now we got every horse lined up here at the quarter pole, ready to get their victory. But we got Washington just slightly ahead of everybody else. And as we talk about Washington, let's go ahead and jump into that game next. We got ourselves a 6-9 Washington team pretty much finds themselves in the position to win the division. And they could have won the division last week, but they fell short. Then the Eagles, 4-10-1. The Eagles seem to be a favorite. Everybody got excited because they had Jalen Hurts in there, and Jalen Hurts has went ahead and been able to just win one game, and then he's dropped the rest. Pretty much they're a +2.5 dog coming into this game, over under 43.5. Last meeting these teams had, Washington won the game 27-17. Then you have a last 10. The Eagles lead this portion of the series 6-4. All right. The Washington's coming into the game 10-5 against the spread, 5-9-1 over and under, 4-4 since the bye week, which was week 7, 5-2-1 against the spread in that process as well, too. 3-4 straight up, 5-2 against the spread when it comes to games on the road for this team. So they've been able to be a good covering team on the road, but they haven't been able to get all those wins they're supposed to be getting on the road. Then you got the 4-5, 6-3 against teams under 500, 2-2 straight up, 4-0 against the spread. So that is a good number for them to have in this spot, that 4-0 against the spread. But they're coming in here as the favorite this time. So pretty much they're saying that the way the numbers look, Washington should win the game, right? But they're 3-2 when it comes to the spread and straight up on the road, 1-1 straight up, 2-0 against the spread in the division when it comes to the road game. Okay, so you got the Eagles 4-11, 6-9 over under, 1-6 since the bye week, 3-4-1 before that. I'm sorry, 3-4-1 against the spread, 3-3-1 straight up, 3-4 against the spread at home, 2-3 straight up, 1-4 against the spread in division, 1-1 against the spread straight up at home, 3-3-1, 3-4 versus teams under 500, 1-1-1-1 against the spread, 2-1 straight up. So this team has a good record against teams under 500, so they can find themselves in that game. But Jalen Hurts is going to have to do more than just run down the field in this one. But I think that he's going to catch them off guard because Washington's in a bad spot. They have no quarterback. They just released the who was supposed to be their franchise quarterback for the next 5 years or so. They just couldn't do it anymore with Dwayne Haskins. They've gotten rid of him. So we're pretty much in a shuffle right now on who's going to be the Washington quarterback this weekend. So we'll see how it shakes out. But I can't go with the team that's uncertain about their quarterback at this point. So I'm going to take the Eagles to be the big spoiler. And I think that the NFC title game comes down to the Cowboys and the Giants this weekend. So there it is. We move forward and we have ourselves a goodie here. We got a good one here. Vikings 6-9 at the Lions 5-10, and you have this 6.5 point spread going to the Vikings as well too as the favorite, over and under 54.5 as well. Last meeting between these teams was week 8, and Minnesota won that game 34-20. Minnesota is leading the series right now 7-3. Vikings 6-9 on the season when it comes to against the spread, 11-4 over and under, 5-4 straight up, 3-6 against the spread. Haven't covered 6 straight since the bye week. 3-4 straight up And 4-3, yeah, they've been bad, So they started off 3-0 against the spread, then they dropped the next 6. 3-4, 4-3 on the road, 4-3 against the spread, 3-4 straight up, 3-2 straight up, and against the spread in the division, 2-0 on the road though this year. So they've been able to get good wins in Chicago and a good win in Green Bay as well too. 4-2, 2-4 against the spread versus teams under 500, 1-0 on the road in this category. You got the Lions 5-10, over and under of 9-6 as well. 4-7 straight up and against the spreads since the bye, which was week 5, and we have 1-6 straight up against the spread at home, with the 1-4 straight up, and 2-3 against the spread in the division, 1-1 against the spread, 0-2 straight up at home. Then we got the 3-3 straight up, the 1-5 against the spread, and verse teams under 500. So there it is. The Lions have themselves a good little mix here, and it looks like they want to get themselves a final win on the season. But I don't see that happening, though, to be dead honest with you. I think that the Vikings take care of their business. The Vikings win this game by a touchdown or better. Yes, I know Dalvin Cook's going to be out of this game, but I think that Jefferson and Cousins have themselves a big game here. And I think that, it's just about that time for the Lions just to wrap it up for the season. But I'm talking like this, and the Lions will wind up showing up on Sunday. But you know what? I'm tired of them burning up money. I'm going to take the other team that burns up money. That's going to be the Vikings, because they're good on the road. All right, so we got the Packers striving for that second seed right now, and the Packers 12-3. Bears looking to be that final seed in the playoffs right now as well too. Bears just need to win, and they're in. So they're 8-7 right now, plus 5.5 dog as well at Soldier Field, over under 52 points. And the last meeting these teams had, the Packers won 41-25, but this started an offensive surge by this Bears team, because they brought back Mitch Trubisky to be the starter. After benching him for 6 weeks straight, he finally comes back in, and he's led the Bears to a 3-game winning streak in the process. So there it is. After dropping the game to Detroit, now the Packers are 8-2 in the last 10 against the Bears. The Bears are 8-7 against the spread, 7-8 over and unders, 3 wins in a row after a 6-game losing streak, averaging 35.8 points per game since the bye week, which was week 11. And before that, they only averaged 19.1 points per game. They are 2-3 against the spread and straight up in division play, but they're 0-2 straight up and against the spread at home. That's crucial right there. They lost to both the Lions and to the Vikings. They got 1-5 straight up, 2-4 against the spread versus teams over 500, 2-1 against the spread, 1-2 straight up at home. So they can cover against the good teams, but they haven't been able to beat the good teams. All right, and then we have the 3-4. We have the 3-4 straight up, 4-3 against the spread at home. Bears, boom, there it is. Packers coming in this one 8-3, 5-6 against the spread since their bye week. 5-2 straight up, 4-3 against the spread on the road, 4-1 straight up, 3-2 against the spread in the division, 2-0 in this spot as well. They got wins over the Vikings and the Lions on the road, and then they're also 3-2 straight up and against the spread versus teams under 500, 1-2 straight up against the spread on the road as well too. So there it is. I think the Bears may not win this game, but the Bears figure out a way to make this game a game. You know what I mean? So pretty much what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears with the plus 5.5, and we're going to go ahead and see how this bad boy shakes out. So with that, we'll be right back. And we'll be right back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and we'll be right back at you.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. But challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
All right, we are back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and we are now in the fourth quarter of this bad boy. And man, I hate to see this season go, but it's been a great season. And next week, you guys can catch me with a whole lot of talk about the playoffs and everything like that. If you guys do watch the daily show, the Primetime Angles, which is live on Instagram daily on DiBiase Wave _, and you guys can also catch it on the YouTube at PrimeWave Media. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this AFC South, this NFC South game. I'm very sorry about that. And in the NFC South, we have ourselves a very good matchup here. This is going to be between the Falcons and the Bucks. Bucks coming in 10-5, hosting the Falcons, who are 4-11. Last meeting they had, the Bucks won 31-27 in dramatic fashion. They had to come back in this game as well too. It was a monster comeback that they had, and it was pretty much looked like the return of Antonio Brown. Now the Falcons lead in this series over the last 10. They've won the last 6 out of 4. Now the Falcons are 7-8 against the spread, 6-9 when it comes to overs and unders. Now they're 1-5 straight up, 4-2 against the spread since the bye week of being week 10. But before that, they were much better at that time. I think they were 3-6 before, and they had just won 3 out of 4 games as well too, before they went into that bye. So Atlanta didn't get the memo, and they didn't turn it up the way that we thought they would. They're 2-5 straight up and 4-3 against the spread on the road, and they're 0-7 straight up, 3-4 against the spread versus teams over 500, and they're 0-3 straight up, 2-1 on the road in the spot. Then you have the Bucks coming in here 9-6 against the spread, over and under is 8-7. They're on a 3-game winning streak since their bye week, which was week 13. They're 2-1 against the spread. They're 4-3 straight up and against the spread at home. They're 3-2 straight up, 2-3 in division play against the spread. They're 1-1 against the spread and straight up in home games for the division. They're 9-0 straight up, 6-3 against the spread versus teams under 500 as well too. So they are killing it in that category. But I still just really do think that the Falcons have this thing about, okay, they'll lose one division game, but they'll either lose and cover or win and cover in the next game when they play these teams. And I think this is a win and cover, because what do the Bucks really have to play for, to be dead honest with you? I think they've already secured that 5th spot with the way the Rams lost last week and everything like that. They should go in there 10-6, and but if the Rams do win, the Rams will have the spot. So, that's why they want to really get this victory in. But I think that at the end of the day, it won't hurt them if they lose, because those top 4 teams in the NFC are already tough as they come. You know what I mean? So pretty much it is what it is at the end of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and rock out with the Falcons here with the +6.5. Now we have ourselves a fun matchup here. I feel like I'm missing something here, and I know I am. So pretty much let's go ahead and get into the Saints and the Panthers. The Saints and the Panthers kind of an under the radar game. You got the Panthers coming into this one 4-11, and then you 5-10 actually. I'm so sorry about that. Panthers are 5-10 coming into this one, and they're pretty much looking to get themselves back into the winner's circle. And you know what? You have a team that doesn't have to play for much. And the Saints coming in here 11-4 right now, and the Saints have already pretty much secured the South Division. So when you look at it, this is another great matchup between these two teams. We all know that the Panthers covered the first time around, and the Panthers looked really good last week against Washington. The defense stepped it up immensely, and this time around they will have a home game to finish up the season as well. They want to finish up the season on a good note. We all know Drew Brees won't be playing in this game because pretty much there's no point for him to play in this game. I know that they are trying to lock up that second seed as well too, but at the end of the day though, I think that they want to get out this game healthy. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually put my bet towards the Panthers in this spot, because the Panthers been lights out when it comes to covering this year as well too. So I can't pass that up. I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers with the +7 here. And we got an over-under of 47.5 as well too, because I just know that Drew Brees is either going to play a half or maybe a quarter, because they've already clinched their playoff spot. So, and they've already won the NFC South. So it is what it is at the end of the day. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the NFC West. And West, y'all, I'm telling you right now, we got a great game here between Seattle and San Francisco. You got Seattle coming in here 11-4. You got the Niners coming in here 6-9. It's a +6 on the spread, over under 46. The last meeting these teams had was week 8. Seahawks won 37-27 in Seattle. And Seattle's actually won the last 8 out of 10 in the series as well, too. Seattle comes into this one 6-9, over under 7-8. 3-game winning streak after dropping 3 out of 4 games, and people saying what was wrong with Seattle. I tell everybody, don't worry about it. They just going through the motions of the regular season. That they're 5-4, 4-6. They were 5-4 straight up, and 4-5 against the spread since the bye week of being week 7. Okay, they're on 5 against the spread in this stretch, and since the bye. But pretty much, where did that note come from? Oh, yeah, with road games and things like that. 2-3 straight up. Okay, so they're 3-2 against the spread, straight up in the division play, 0-2 on the road in the division as well too. They lost both of their road games in the division. Well, yeah, they did. They lost to the Cardinals and the Rams on the road, and they're 4-3 straight up, 2-5 against the spread on the road, 8-1 straight up, 5-4 against teams versus teams under 500, 4-0 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. So they are pretty good in this category on the road as well too when it comes to losing teams. So the 49ers, you better buckle up. But you know what? 49ers 2-3 straight up and against the spread since their bye week, which was week 11. They're 0-2 at home in that process, 2 since the bye. They're 3-2 against the spread and straight up and in division play, and they're 1-1 at home with the win over the Rams. And then they're 1-6 straight up and against the spread at home. Man, this has been a bad season at home for this team, period, point blank. 1 home win again this year, and the only team they beat was the Rams. Once again, the only team they beat at home was the Rams this year. And then they are 3-6 straight up and against the spread versus teams over 500. They're 1-4 at home in this spot as well too. It's just absolutely atrocious. But you know what? I'm about to bite off more than I can chew, because this is the final week of the season, and they did us such a big favor last week with that big win over the Cardinals. So this week, I'm going to reward the San Francisco 49ers with the good news only dog bet of the week. And there it is. That's going to be our dog bet of the week. The 49ers +225 money line. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's see how it shakes out. Let's go ahead and try to cash that ticket so we can finish up the season 11-6. Because right now we're 10-6 on the year. As I said before, we're going to finish with a winning season this year, regardless of anything. So we want to get that 11th dog bet cashed out. And there it is with the 49ers and the Seahawks. And we move forward to the biggest game in the NFC this weekend, by far probably the biggest game in the NFL, because you really don't know where it's going to go. But right now, everything's pointing towards an Arizona victory in Los Angeles, but that's something they haven't been able to pull off for a very long time. Cardinals coming in here with the Allen quarterback, 8-7 on the season. Rams coming in here 9-6, losers of their last 2 in a row, and an embarrassing loss, giving the Jets their first win of the season. You got the Cardinals 3-5 straight up, and against the spread since the bye week. So they've struggled after a 5-2 start. They're 3-2 straight up, 2-3 against the spread in the division, 1-1 on the road. They're 4-3 straight up and 4-3 against the spread on the road. And they're 2-3 straight up, 1-4 against the spread versus teams over 500, and they're 0-1 on the road in this spot as well, too, when it comes to teams over 500. Rams, on the other hand, Rams are the home team, but they're a home dog this time around. But they did come out as a 5.5-point favorite before he started figuring out that everybody wasn't going to play this week. But John Wolford is not a bad quarterback. They just brought back Blake Bortles, who got 2 playoff victories as well, too. A lot of people forget that part about Blake Bortles, that he was pretty much the best quarterback that the Jacksonville Jaguars had in some time. So pretty much we get down to it. You got the Rams against the spread, 8-7. You got the over-under, 4-11. You got 4-3 straight up against the spread since the bye week, which was week 9. They dropped 2 in a row after winning 4 out of 5 after the bye as well, too. Then they go 3-2 straight up, 2-3 against the spread, and in 1-1 in divisional games at home. And then they're 5-2 straight up, 4-3 against the spread at home, one of the better home teams in the league. And then they're 4-3 straight up and against the spread versus teams over 500, 2-0 at home in this spot as well, too. And the only thing wrong with the Rams is that the Rams started off piping hot at home, and they had actually won their first 4 at home, and then they've dropped their last 2 out of 3 as well, too. So, the Rams got to get this thing together, and they got to take care of their business here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and ride that wave. You can go ahead and give me the Rams. I'm an LA guy, so I'm going to have to rock with the LA team here. And I think that the Rams go ahead and get themselves a big, big upset victory. Why? Because McVay is the better coach, and they have the better defense in this spot, and they're going to throw something at Kyler Murray that he pretty much had never seen before, because they got an even better idea about how to go at him. I like what I see, but you got to understand they haven't been good in the rematch. They lost to the Niners in the second tilt. They lost to the Seahawks in the second tilt. So this one right here is going to be a tough spot for the Rams. They got to take care of their business, and they have to. And it's a do or die situation. But the Rams do have some help on their hands as well too. If the Bears are to lose their game, the Rams automatically are in, and pretty much that would ensure the Cardinals being in as well too if they get their victory. So the Cardinals have to win, and the Bears have to win for pretty much for the Rams to be out. But the Rams. Most likely the Rams will be in the playoffs this year. So we'll see how it goes, but they still got to go out there and try to win this game. So I'm going to take them with the plus 140. Let's see how it shakes out. And that's going to be a wrap for our NFL schedule, week 17, final week of the 2020 season. And there it is. All right. So you guys be on the lookout. We're going to have more shows this week and everything like that, talking to NFL. You guys already know Sunday morning. Catch me on Instagram at DBICWave_, where you guys can go ahead and watch me talk about the my dog pick 4s and my primetime pick 6 and my straight up winners for the week as well too. So you guys can catch that, and then breaking down even more strategy for you guys with the more information that we grabbed in the next 3 days. So it is what it is. I thank you guys so much for tuning in all year. You guys made us a smash hit on Zingo, smash hit on Periscope. Did a great job on YouTube with this. I can't wait to return to you guys next year doing the show, having it bigger and better presentation. I want to go ahead and send a big shout out to our production team as well too. My man Sarut Sakanow and his squad. I thank you guys so much. I want to send a big shout out to ECSI, the East Coast Sports Investors, and to their boss, to the head honcho, my main man, the Don of Cape Cod himself, Jeff Dawson. Send a big shout out to my man Mike Dixon from Vegas Sports Daily as well too. We got big things in the fold. Also want to send a big shout out to JB the Ticket from the Vegas Scoreboard as well too. So if I forgot to send a shout out to you, don't get offended by that. We only got so much time. So pretty much there it is. This is the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper. And I'll be right back at you tomorrow somewhere on your internet. But I thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful week. Happy New Year's to you as well too. See you in 2021.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Bet Exchange, where the sharpest bets are laid. This show was produced by the PrimeWave Media Group.